I recently put out a poll and asked you guys which room in the house needs a makeover the most. Several hundred of you voted, and by the slimmest of margins, the bedroom won. So today we are going to be transforming the bedroom. I'm going to be giving you several design tips. We're going to be doing some easy DIYs. It's going to be so great. I think you're going to love the transformation. So let me show you what the bedroom looked like for summertime. It had some great pops of color. The cheerful and bright floral arrangement on the nightstands and the light bedding were so pretty. The fireplace display had an arrangement of pretty pink summer flowers and a lovely summer-themed landscaped framed art. We're going to clear all of this out to make space for a new, fresh, autumn and fall inspired bedroom makeover. Now, when I start room transformations, I love to have an inspiration piece to jumpstart my creativity. Our inspiration piece is going to be, the theme for the room is this beautiful pillow. I purchased this at HomeGoods. I love the bluish gray tones and the tans. This multicolored color scheme and the autumn palette is so pretty and exactly what I want. And of course, you guys know that I love birds. I've got birds in my foyer on the wallpaper, and I've got birds on the lamps in my bedroom, so of course I had to get this. And the best part was this pillow was on clearance. It was only $24. So now we have our jumping off point. We've got our color scheme and we have our theme. So we're gonna get started with our first DIY. Now at Christmas time, I made some Christmas wreaths and I hung them in front of the mirrors above the nightstands. I loved this idea so much that I thought, let's do it for fall. So first we need some wreaths. I found these wood acanthus wreaths at Walmart. They are so perfect. They're thin, they're the right size, and they're the right price. Each one of these wreaths was only $5.33. We're going to change the natural color of the wreath to a gold to go along with the gold accents that we're going to have throughout the bedroom. So I took these wood wreaths outside and I sprayed them in some gold Rust-Oleum spray paint. I sprayed the bottom of the wreath first. Once both of these wreaths were covered in the spray paint, I let them dry for half an hour. Then I came back, flipped over both of these wreaths, added another coat of paint to the surface. Once everything was coated in the paint, I let it dry for an additional hour. These wreaths look so pretty now. The gold is a fantastic neutral backdrop, and it's going to look so pretty when we put all of our beautiful florals and leaves over the top. So what I did was I gathered up several stems of flowers and leaves that were neutral fall botanicals. I also had some leftover gold leaves that I used in previous projects. I purchased the majority of these at Hobby Lobby and then also at Michael's. What I like to do when I create a project like this is lay everything out first before I make anything permanent. That way I can adjust and make some changes. So the first thing I'm going to put on my wreath are these gold leaves. I put 2 per wreath. Then I took my florals, I cut them so they had a very short stem. I'm adding 2 large florals and 1 smaller floral to each wreath. I also have a few green leaves, and then I cut 1 large fall leaf to go in the center of the wreath. So now that I have my designs all laid out, I got my hot glue and I began to hot glue everything into place. Once everything had been glued in place on my first wreath, I did the exact same thing to the second wreath. I simply just glued all of those botanicals and leaves in the same areas as I did in the first wreath. If this blue ribbon looks familiar, it's because I have used it in a few projects very recently. And because we were trying to stay on a budget and because I absolutely love this blue color, we're going to use it again. So what I did was I took a segment of this blue satin ribbon, I tied it into a bow, and then I hot glued it in the center of the fall leaf. Once I was finished adding the bow to the first wreath, I grabbed another segment of the ribbon, tied it into a bow, and then mimicked the placement of the bow on the second wreath. Because these wreaths are going to be placed up against a mirror, I don't want them to bang against it or potentially scratch the mirror. So what I'm going to do is get some of these felt pads. I purchased a package of these at the Dollar Tree. I'm going to be using 2 of the smaller ones per wreath. I removed the protective coating from the back and then just pressed those to the back of my wreath. Now I have a little more peace of mind knowing that if these bang up against the mirror, they're not going to scratch it. Our wreaths are finished. They look so pretty. They are perfect for fall. There are multiple ways that you can hang a wreath to a mirror. You can use a command hook, or like me, you can get out your fishing line, which is what I did at Christmas time. I got some fishing line, and what I'm gonna do is wrap some of this fishing line around the wreath, and then I got a tack, and I wrapped the opposite end of this fishing line around the tack and tied it into a knot. I pulled out my ladder, climbed to the top, and then I pressed that tack into the wall. So now the wreath can hang down in front of the mirror, and you don't know how it's hanging. It looks like it's just hovering right in front of the mirror. It's very difficult to detect the fishing line. It looks magical. It looks like it's simply just floating in front of the mirror. And that's it, you guys. We are finished creating our autumn-inspired wreaths. These wreaths are not your run-of-the-mill wreaths because they are made out of wood. They are unique. They also give us a great opportunity to easily add the fall botanicals we wanted, as well as a bow. Because this wreath doesn't weigh much, we know that it's not going to fall out of the wall, and that gives me peace of mind. Even though we are moving into the cooler months of the year, it is still very toasty here in Florida, and cooling down with a lovely breeze is just what we need. I have this fantastic Dreo Polyfan 502S. It is both an air circulator and a fan that keeps you cool. Well, it circulates the air. This fan was so easy to put together. All I did was pull the pieces out of the box and then easily assemble them. I screwed the pedestal together, and then to attach the base, all I needed was 1 washer and 1 screw, which was provided in the package. In no time, my fan was up and ready to go. Now this fan does not look like any other fan that I've ever had. It is so streamlined and so modern. I love the wood grain design and the 2-tone color scheme. This fan has multiple options and adjustable features. You can do a very light breeze, and you can go all the way up to a strong breeze. You can control this fan from the remote that it comes with. You can use your finger to touch the base and all the buttons, or you can download the app and you can control the fan from the convenience of your phone. It also has several oscillating options. This fan can swivel back and forth, and it can also swivel up and down, and then it can do both at the same time. So if you want a breeze going throughout your house, all around, all of these features will get the correct amount of airflow that you need to feel comfortable. One thing that I really love about this fan is how quiet it is. You don't even realize that the fan is on, except for the fact that you're experiencing a refreshing natural breeze while efficiently circulating indoor air without relying on air conditioning. This poly fan can reach up to 80 feet. You can put the fan in the corner of the room, out of the way, and feel the air circulating all the way to the other side of the room. I will leave a link to Dreo and this fan in my description box, so you can head over to their website and check this fan out for yourself. And I will also have a discount code for you so that you can save money on an already very affordable fan. Our next DIY is so easy and it's so classy. So if you have a vase like this, get it out and we'll do this together. So what I have are these beautiful vases that I purchased at Home Goods. They have a gorgeous detail on the top. There's this beautiful ring, and the bottom base is gold as well. Of course, you can put candles inside of these. That's what they're made for. But we're going to be a little creative today as we theme these into autumn. Now, what I have are these large plush pumpkins. These are velvet pumpkins. I purchased them a couple years ago at Home Goods, and I love the gold stem on these. This is going to fit right into our color scheme. So I'm going to add 2 of these large velvet pumpkins to our vase. I'm just gonna pop them right in there. And then to fill in just a little bit and add a little more sparkle, I have these pine cones and an acorn that I purchased at the Dollar Tree a couple years ago as well. So what I'm going to do is just nestle those right inside, right along with our pumpkins, and they are going to be a perfect addition. It's, again, fits in with that fall theme. So now that I'm done with this one, I'm gonna do the exact same thing to this vase. I'm just gonna pop these velvet pumpkins right inside, take my gold pine cone, and just nestle that right down in the front. You could add so many items to a vase like this. You could put in some leaves. You could, of course, do a flower arrangement. But how simple and how gorgeous are these? They are going to look beautiful on my nightstand. So let's go ahead and take these into my bedroom and set them right underneath the wreath on my nightstand. I put one on each side. The gold coordinates with the gold around the mirror, it coordinates with the lamps, and I love how large these are. Scale-wise, these are fantastic on my nightstands. They take up the bulk of the space, but they don't overwhelm the display. These look elegant and they have a subtle touch of autumn. These displays are sophisticated and look luxurious. We're going to add one more decorative element to our nightstands. I have these ginger jars. They're white. They're very similar but not identical. One's a little bit larger than the other and one has some cutouts in it. Instead of leaving these ginger jars plain, we are going to get some more of that blue satin ribbon, tie it around the neck of our ginger jars, and then tie it into a bow. This blue bow coordinates with the bow that we have right above on our wreaths. The blue also coordinates with our pillow because it's a bluish gray color tone. So now we're finished decorating our nightstands, and I think they look so elegant. They have a subtle touch of autumn. They're sophisticated and unique. Another way that you can theme your bedroom seasonally and still keep it affordable is by switching out your bed linens. Now, for the most part, I am going to keep my bed linens just as is. I love the neutral colors that I have, and by reusing the linens that I already have, we are able to save ourselves a lot of money. Now, the way that you can theme them seasonally is by switching out your pillows. Now, you guys already saw this beautiful bird pillow. This is our inspiration piece. I found some other pillows at Home Goods that coordinate beautifully with our bird pillow. It has this bluish gray tone to it. It has gold streaks that run through it. It's still neutral because we don't have a busy design on it. It's more of a solid with some great detailing, but it doesn't take away from the focal point, which is the bird pillow. So this is a great accent pillow that highlights the focal pillow, which is what we want these to do. The color scheme of these fits in beautifully with the design that we're going for in this room. The cost of these pillows was $39.99 a piece, which is a little pricey, but because they fall into the neutral category, I can use these all over the house all year long. At the foot of the bed, I added an additional duvet. This is a cream duvet and it coordinates with the color scheme in the room, but it adds a little color variation, which is what I love. It also has a square design on it, which is geometric, and it goes perfectly with the geometric design of the herringbone that I have on my bedspread. So what I did with this was I just bunched it up at the end of the bed. It adds an additional cozy ambiance you want from your bedding. Now this entire side of the room is completely finished and decorated for fall. We've got our nightstands with all of our beautiful fall elements, the wreath on the mirror, and the updated pillows and blankets on our bedding. So now that we're done over here, let's move on over to the fireplace. If you like room transformations like this, DIY home decor or styling tips, then you have come to the right place. I post weekly videos on all things related to the home. I would love to have you subscribe so I can share those weekly videos with you. Now, what we're going to do first of all is look at the fireplace and see what it was like before. We had a beautiful floral arrangement, some tall ginger jars, and a beautiful art print. Well, let's take all of that down and start with a blank slate. So what we're going to do first of all is we're going to get a gold acanthus wreath. I was inspired by the acanthus wreaths that we made that are hanging on our mirrors, and I have a gold acanthus wreath, so we're going to put that right up in the back. In front of that wreath, I have some more of those gold leaves and the fall leaf, and then I have some little teeny mini green leaves, and I'm going to place those down and then take a large blue plush pumpkin and put it over the top. This plush pumpkin is also from Home Goods, and I purchased it at the same time that I got my velvet cream pumpkins, so those coordinate. And then I also have a large ginger jar right here. I put it on top of a marble round, and of course I've got to get some more of that ribbon. This ribbon is the same color. It is a bit thicker. I wrapped it around our ginger jar and then tied it into a bow. So now you can see how this display coordinates so well with our nightstand display. Our ginger jars coordinate, the leaves coordinate, the pumpkins coordinate, and the acanthus wreath coordinates. So we're finished right here. Now we're going to move to the other side of the fireplace, and the first thing we're going to do is swap out our artwork. I loved this artwork for summer, but we are now moving into the fall and autumn months, so we want our artwork to reflect that. What I have is this beautiful branch of fall leaves with a mini acorn. The green leaves coordinate with the green leaves that I have on my wreaths. This artwork is from my website, and what I did was I just simply put it in the same frame that I had before. Again, we're saving money by reusing the items that we already have, and then I placed it on top of our gold frame stand. Down here in the front, we have another plush pumpkin. This one was actually from Target that I purchased a few years ago. This is still in the blue family. This navy blue is a great way to introduce another shade of blue. Again, it has the gold stem, which coordinates with all the other gold stems that we have in our room. And then I have a few more leaves that coordinate with these leaves right over here. So I'm just going to put my pumpkin right on top of these leaves. And then the only thing that I'm going to be saving from our summer display is this candle. I love having candles in a bedroom. I love the ambiance that it gives off. This is a large candle, and it fits in with our white and cream color scheme. And the lid is gold, which again is a perfect addition to this space. I think this fall-inspired bedroom makeover came out beautifully. I love all of the subtle changes that we made. I think this space is cozy and inviting. It's a wonderful space that I can retreat to. The warmth of the autumn hues and the soft textures now fill the room. We easily transformed this room into a seasonal sanctuary. We kept our costs down by reusing some bedding and some decorative accessories, which proves you can definitely live beautifully, and you can do it on a budget throughout the changing seasons. Because the living room was a close second to the bedroom in the poll, keep your eyes open for some living room transformation ideas coming very shortly. Well, I hope you got some inspiration or some ideas today so that you can swap out your decor for the changing seasons. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you so much for watching.